Okay, let's begin. So, welcome to this small show, like Eat with the Owner.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And your name?
My name is Li Xin.
Li Xin. Xin, right?
Yeah, Xinli, and usually I ask my friends or my colleagues to call me Daniel.
Daniel?
That's my English name.
Okay, great. Yeah. The Xin, how to write the Chinese name? Xin?
It's really simple. It's basically 3 Jing, you know?
Oh, three. Oh, that one. 3 Jing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, got that one.
So it is a bit long to write.
Yeah.
But, on a Chinese level, it's long, but on the English level, it's pretty simple, 5 letters. So that's pretty cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to save time, we always order first. And
okay. So
what do you want to eat?
To be honest, since you are the owner, I'll let you choose. And maybe recommend. Surprise me, I would say.
Okay. But you do you want to eat a lot or not? The lunch should be okay to eat a lot, or like you are.
Yeah, I'm fine.
The pork is okay.
Of course.
Spicy okay.
Spicy is okay as well.
Okay, so the twice cooked pork is really good.
Okay.
And let's do twice cooked pork. I want to try out something because since I made a lot of videos already, so
yeah.
Twice cooked pork and green beans. What else?
I mean, if you don't mind, I'll take the General Tao chicken. You know, that's like staple Chinese food, exactly. So we can definitely have that.
I want to try this. I tried the spicy hot pot.
Spicy hot pot?
Yeah, the Sichuan spicy pot.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, this one.
I'm excited. Let's try that as well.
And also...
Do you have like dishes you never tasted before on your own menu?
No, I recently, during the pandemic, I taste everyone because I shoot every one of them. I shoot a video for
for reviews, huh?
Yeah, to explain every dish. So before that, some of them never.
Oh. Awesome. And as an owner, what is your favorite dish?
Either twice cooked pork or the spicy diced chicken, but a lot of bones.
A lot of bones, huh?
Yeah. So in front of camera may not be that. Yeah, let's try. So we have General chicken, twice cooked pork, and Sichuan. What is that?
I think it's the pot you said.
Yeah, Sichuan spicy pot, and then the dry fried green beans.
Yeah, sure.
Steamed rice as well.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay, 2 steamed rice. Okay, that should be good. Put this to the kitchen. So save the time. I'm gonna run. Okay, so we met several times before, right?
Exactly.
2 or 3 times.
I think more than that, but when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I was younger, I think you had a lot of parties with my mom's friends and all of that. Yeah. So I know you from my mom. So
yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
And do you mind tell what year you were born or?
I don't mind. I was born in 1995. January 13th.
That's 26 years old.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Yeah, the first time I met you, probably you were 16, maybe.
I think so. It was either 15, 16.
Yeah. 10 years ago.
10 years ago. We've known each other for a while, but we have never actually had a lot of frequent meetings. It's mostly like during parties.
Never talked. We just maybe we drunk a little bit here or there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we played soccer once.
Yeah. I brought you to the
exactly. So that was awesome. But most of the time was with my mom's friend's party, and sometimes she invited me. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Your mom is really cool, and I guess we met with friends 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's like
10
friends
years.
from friends, I think.
Yeah, we had a lot of parties here or there. But after having a restaurant, everything stopped. Like 8 years ago, we started the restaurant.
Exactly.
So after that,
Exactly.
like busy, crazy.
Exactly.
So I stopped going to any parties, I believe. So it's kind of no social life.
I mean, kind of understandable since you open like 7 days a week, so you're pretty busy.
Busy weekends.
Exactly,
Weekends,
exactly.
yeah.
So for restaurants, weekends are especially,
I had my IT job, so
at the same time.
yeah, at the same time. So
are you still doing IT jobs, or are you just like fully focused on the restaurant?
I think right now it's 100% full because in the full-time job in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So in last April, end of April 2020, my company just laid me off.
Because of COVID, or in general?
I think they felt the pressure at the beginning of the pandemic,
okay.
so the financial pressure. So they let go several people. I was one of them. So
that's really unfortunate.
But it worked out naturally, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were able to transition to the restaurant business afterwards. So,
yeah, because that time, like the restaurant business was short of staff. Really, so it's kind of natural. So I had, even without like the company they let me off, I had to resign probably.
Okay. So it kind of fall into place.
Yeah, and then they give me a package as well.
Wow.
So it worked out in my favor.
Exactly. Maybe it was a sign all along, with all of that.
Yeah, it's kind of little bit lucky in the worst scenario. It's the pandemic really bad for the restaurant business.
Yeah.
But without that, the package helped me a lot at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
So
that's good.
So there's no income that year, the 2020, and at the beginning of the pandemic, the restaurant business was really bad. It was hit really hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Literally,
definitely.
No customers.
But even today, I mean, it's getting better with takeouts and all of that. But still, I mean, we're getting back to the normal.
Today, I'm a little bit worried
circumstance.
Too. Yeah, like last night was pretty busy.
Last night, okay.
Yeah, it's how to say. Majority, maybe 60% still the delivery or takeout.
Yeah, okay,
so
60%.
We compensate with some people eating side.
Yeah.
So the people eating side, that's a real business. You have the profit margin.
Exactly. Okay.
The delivery they charge you 30% Uber Eats, so you really don't have any profit margin.
I see.
So it's kind of keep yourself busy.
Okay.
So the more percentage, more portion on the eating side or the takeout.
Yeah.
That will help a lot. So recently we only opened up the dining room end of August.
End of August. Year. Okay.
2020 we did not open any day for the eating because like even they allowed in the summer.
Yeah, exactly.
But we chose not to open. Just like all takeout.
Yeah.
All takeout or delivery.
Definitely, Especially also inflation recently getting up, so the cost of food, cost of everything going up.
That's the thing that will kill us at the end.
Okay.
that may kill us.
Yeah, okay. Well,
that's why right now doing the Uber Eats is not making sense anymore. Not totally. Before was okay. Last year when the food was not too expensive.
Yeah.
They take 30%, we still have something left.
Yeah,
it's okay. But now
today is.
I think it's really bad. So luckily we have some amount of customers eating side that will help a lot. So like last night, Saturday night, Friday night as well.
Friday night as well. Yeah.
We got first floor all full, and some people have to sit on the second floor.
Oh. So, okay.
Close to the time before the pandemic, if we can get people that amount of people eating inside, like the level of pandemic will be okay. Even the cost of food is increasing, we will be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the business, like our business, we have to have the margin. Without the margin, it will be finished.
Okay.
Also, you cannot find the staff. You cannot find people working. So I work 7 days. Last night I was washing dishes because we had a lot of customer eating inside, a lot of dishes.
Yeah.
Myself alone in the kitchen, I washed till maybe 11 o'clock.
Wow.
When everybody left, I was washing dishes, so make sure everything is clean.
Wow.
But that's happy. Really, you will love this kind of busy. Otherwise, when you do all the deliveries, you're busy, but the delivery save you a lot of you have no dishes.
Exactly.
But the cost of the boxes, everything, take out boxes.
Yeah.
and with the commission that they take, it's crazy.
It's crazy, huh? Do you think like you're really busy, but do you love it? Do you love it? Because when you love something, it's not necessarily, we don't say as a busy. You don't necessarily go to work. You just do what you want to do. I understand it's a business at the same time, but if you love the restaurant business,
I don't think I can. I like the situation. I really don't like the situation.
The situation, huh?
Yeah, but okay. I guess any small business in this pandemic, we just hope like we can live, you can survive, and then another year or two if it continues like this. But as long as we can pass this period, it's a success.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of I don't like. But this time I do a lot of I cut a lot of vegetables, do this kind of washing dishes. But at the same time, I listen to a lot of podcasts. So it kind of still learning my English. So
yeah, that's still, really good.
Yeah, that's the efficiency is really key.
Efficiency, yeah.
A lot of time I always do two things at the same time. Exactly the whole year, almost 2 years. I listen to a lot of YouTube or watch a lot of YouTube's videos, also the podcast.
Yeah.
My English probably I get more knowledge than before.
Awesome. I mean, when you have 24 hours in a day and you have to work a lot as well, you need to make sure that, not make sure, but to also find time for other things. So you can do multiple things at the same time.
Especially I have the Apple AirPod.
Yeah.
And
wireless, right?
And cut vegetables, and then taking orders, and then give the food to drivers.
Nice.
So
nice.
Not too bad, but it's super busy. I guess it's just surviving mode.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wish you the best. Definitely, I think Ande is a really good restaurant. So we have been eating here for a while, multiple times. The food is really good, and I'm happy to know that yesterday, like the reputation of the Ande cuisine was maintained. Hopefully, after after the government kind of let loose a little bit more, and more client will be coming. So.
Especially we were lucky. Like the January, we will get a little bit media coverage that helped a lot.
Oh, okay.
We see like this weekend we see a lot of people from United States, a lot of customers.
Really?
Yeah.
So international customers that came to here.
Yeah. We have a lot of, because we check their vaccination.
Right.
So
exactly.
They have the paper like 2 doses of here there, and we have less customer from Montreal.
Wow.
Yeah, eat in, but like they all like to take out. But the people they travel, sometimes they have to, not easy for them all to take out. Maybe they eat hotel.
Yeah.
A lot of time they come to a eating site.
Okay.
So from Toronto, from United States, a lot of time from New York, even 2 guys from Washington.
Washington DC.
Yeah. It's and Florida as well. Sometimes
that's really far. Awesome.
So if nothing changes, I guess if fully open before the pandemic, we will be really busy. I guess a lot of people from like outside, or like now we are kind of, because of media, probably we have big existence on the internet. So when they travel, they always Google, right?
Wow, definitely. Yeah. That's really awesome.
Yeah, if we can pass the pandemic, I think we will be okay. Just the pandemic is crazy.
No doubt.
Yeah, but it's busy like crazy. It's myself. I have no time to do anything else. It's just every day here.
I guess no soccer.
Soccer still.
Oh yeah. That's good.
This morning we played from 8 to 10. Before that.
Wow. Nice.
8 to 10.
Nice.
Like 10 years ago, the same team. We're still the same.
Really?
Same team, same schedule. Sunday morning, 8 to 10.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good to have maintained that, especially in busy times. Keep the body active. Definitely, yeah.
It's the same local the Chinese team. But people change a little bit. But the main people, if you go there, you're still the same old guy. Several old guys.
I mean, if you enjoy a sport, there's no age, right?
Yeah.
So
anyway. But you like what year? How old were you like when you came here? Like,
I was about 7 years old.
7?
Yeah, 7 years old. It was quite an interesting experience because at 7 years old, it was I just kind of I was kind of like a primary school in China, so I learned Chinese, all of that, and suddenly I learned that I'll be immigrating to Canada.
Yeah.
So it's actually an interesting experience because it was my first time taking the plane, and I was alone at that time. So imagine a 7 years old Chinese kid, no language, no English, no French skills.
No English at all, right?
Exactly. So the thing is, it's really funny. I only had Chinese as a language, right? So as my tool. And what usually happened is that I had a little paper with English word written on it that has like a Chinese translation on the bottom, so I can ask for help in case that I'm either lost. So it was quite an experience. I had to travel from. So I'm from HangZhou, which is near.
Most beautiful city.
Exactly.
HangZhou is very beautiful.
So I had to go from HangZhou, take a bus to Shanghai, which is the international airport at that point. Then after that, take a plane to Vancouver, and then at Vancouver, my then stepdad, which is a Canadian at that time, he picked me up. And then we took another plane to travel to Quebec. So it was
always Montreal, right? Always Montreal.
Yeah, exactly. It was always Montreal. I never lived in another province or another city in Canada.
Which part of Montreal you were?
Oh, which part of Montreal? I'm on the south shore of Montreal.
All the time?
Yes.
Oh.
I've been living there for a while.
So what's your experience like when you were 7? You go to a welcome class to
So
1 year or?
I think I think the standard was 2 years of welcome class where they teach you, it's like a normal class, but they have to focus on teaching French.
Yeah. Not much English, right? Not much about English.
Not much, I won't say, because that was not the priority at the time. Because in the welcoming class, because you're in Quebec, they kind of prioritize French, so you kind of learn French there. But because you also have a lot of international immigrants from other countries, exactly, that goes to those welcoming class, what happens is that you will learn like English as it goes. So my first English experience was because of them. Obviously there were Chinese who spoke Mandarin or Cantonese, but they're also Russians or Brazilians. So what happened is that you have this like different countries forming their own friend circle, so you kind of have like different culture at that point. But sometime we had like a mix of cultures. So at that point you have a exchange of culture and language. So but I think because each language is so different, like let's say Chinese versus Russian, although they're really close in terms of geography, the language and the culture is different. So the best way for us to communicate was English. So at that point you kind of have to learn English in order for you to communicate with other people. But I feel like at that point, a lot of people or a lot of young kids like me were mostly comfortable with their own culture. So what happened?
How many Chinese kids do you have?
I think in my I don't remember in the whole school, but in my class, I think we had like 10 or 12.
That's a lot.
That's like a good one, either 1/4 or a 1/3.
That's about 2002 or 2003, and that time so many.
Yeah.
Let's leave here. Okay. Oh, I forgot to bring the fork and the chopsticks.
Thank you very much.
Bring the chopsticks. Plate. Yeah, I thought I forgot something. I forgot to bring the plates and chopsticks.
It's okay.
So that's around 2002 or 2003.
Yeah, it was around that year.
Yeah, you were 19 years here, so I've been here 15 years, so 4 years before me. Probably.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah. I mean, time passed by so fast, so you don't really notice. But
and that welcome class, like you have, like in class 40 people, about 40 kids.
Yeah, it was like a normal class size, about 30 to 40.
But the kids, they get along well? Or?
I would say...
Because you see all different kids, like all this, maybe like...
Exactly, so...
different countries.
I think it was kind of...
It's overwhelming maybe for a young kid at 7.
It was definitely overwhelming as an experience because because when I was in China, I never really interacted with other people from other countries. So when you first
yeah, give me 1 second.
it's fine. Thank you.
So that's like, do you feel like any impact on you or for this kind of experience?
As an impact, that's a really good question. I wouldn't say I noticed that much when I was a kid. I think I was definitely intimidated by the whole, you know, all the culture, the new different faces, you know, because obviously there's a physical difference as well. So definitely overwhelmed. But I didn't think much of it because I was, you know, like this group of Chinese people, right?
So a good big group.
Exactly. So it kind of felt at home at the same time, but I was really curious about what the other culture was. So I was able to make also friends with those people who were from other countries.
Okay, let's begin. So this we go to twice cooked pork.
Okay. Thank you.
The green beans. Yeah, this is a great chance for me to eat a lot of food.
Really? Do you not eat usually a lot of food, or?
Not at all. I try to. I try to eat less to keep the weight down. But the problem is, after every night when I go home from the restaurant, I eat a lot of snacks.
See,
it's too hungry, and then the problem, like I try to. But last time, the last guest, he was very careful about his diet, so I was a little bit inspired. So, so I'm trying to.
Really?
Yeah. I try to eat less after it's too very late in the night.
Well, yeah, I'm interested. What kind of snack do you eat? Because you know, because since I'm also going to the gym, I'm also watching what I'm eating. So, what kind of snack do you usually eat at night?
That's the problem. Is like my in-laws, in-laws, like they always have food on the table when that's the problem. Like they cook food and then they thought I want to go home late, so they have one plate or two there.
Okay.
And some also other like the Chinese snacks. So it's kind of too tempting. So I tried a lot of time to not eating, but then maybe I just kept the like 2 nights without eating, and then like after that I start eating again.
Okay.
It's kind of a circle. But every morning I get up, I weigh myself. I just if it's too heavy, probably the measure will be more strict. And if okay, so probably eat a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to weigh yourself every morning, but it's not because like one day you see your scale go up that it's bad, because sometimes it's just water weight. So
because I always play soccer, I want to a little bit light, not too heavy. When you run a lot, it's a problem when you're heavy. Also, these 2 years, I see very different in my body. Like when I'm 42, when you pass 40, everything goes down crazy. Seriously.
You mean like metabolism and all of that, or just like
physical?
Physical, okay.
It's very obvious. Before I have a colleague in the office, like he told me like he's 45, probably 46. Like he always said, everything after 40 years, so everything fucked up the body. So I thought it's dramatic. I thought he was dramatic, just talking, you know, like people talk, they're always being dramatic.
And then you experience yourself, and you're like, he was right.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. That's why we have middle-age crisis. You know that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not there yet, but
but you know, in Chinese, we always talk about that.
Exactly. I mean, my mom always talk about it all the time. You see, that's why I think that's the reason why I wanted to take care of my body when I was young. So at least when I hit that age, I can be at least at certain level still healthy, so I can continue on.
Yeah, a lot of people they like doing gym like young. Like I have a lot of friends. Some friends, their kids like your age, They all go to gym.
Of course. But it's also like because of social media, Instagram, all of that, it's also becoming a culture by itself. Fitness, healthy lifestyle. That's like all over the place. Everybody's promoting that.
I just don't like people showing up, show off their pictures like on Instagram. Like they'll show the good side of the muscle workout, everything, like travel, But when you look at those pictures, you feel like feel bad about yourself.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's a lot of criticism that's been going on with the social media and all the Instagram culture that's been going on. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, me myself also, I feel kind of not intimidated, but also sometimes you feel bad about yourself. But you have to understand those pictures or those videos, they're shoot under, awesome lighting. People are flexing. They don't look like this every single day.
That's why I don't.
Some people are.
When I take pictures, I don't pretend to be nice, look better or something, or I edit a video. I never edit a video. I don't like.
That's why.
Because I want to show the real side. So, how long, you can understand or express yourself in French? It took you how long?
How long?
Yeah, 3 months, 6 months.
I would say, in order to be perfectly fluent, it took me about a year, but I was able to understand French pretty well after 3-4 months. But that's because I was young, so my brain is like a sponge, right? Everything you hear, you can kind of re-say it, replicate it, you imitate what people say. So that is why when I speak French, because my French was learned here with Quebecers, I don't really have a accent when I speak French. So what happened is that sometimes you can have me on the phone, but you won't realize I'm actually Chinese, because when I speak French, it has the local accent, so you don't really notice.
Several months, that gave me hope. I have to learn. But you have to be a child to learn that fast. You don't worry about making mistakes, it's
Exactly. I think the main point of when you learn a new language is be curious. That's what motivated me to learn. Obviously, there were a lot of, I would say, painful memories as well. Sometimes it's really, really frustrating when you don't understand certain aspect, especially. Oh, sorry about that. In French, what happened is that the grammar is kind of difficult because you have a noun that's feminine and a noun that's masculine.
Adjective as well.
Exactly.
So match.
Everything has to match. The verbs also have different tenses. Past tense is different.
And general past, that's crazy. Do you master the general past?
Yeah, general past.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's not even a language. That's kind of looks like somebody just make up rules, just to torture people.
I mean, in terms of the general past is mostly used when you're kind of writing a story and you're talking about actions performed by people, so they use general past, but we don't really use it.
Yeah, exactly. When I saw the conjugation, the conjugation table, this verb, and then they don't look familiar sometimes. There's no rules.
Exactly.
That's why I think that people invented this just to have fun, to torture people. It's kind of psychopath.
I mean, you can see it like that as well, but I see it maybe as a beauty for the language.
Sometimes they want to show off their skills.
Maybe because I think when in Europe, French language is considered as a royal language. In during medieval times, a lot of description was done in French. Why? Because French has all these adjectives, all of those descriptions. So
that's really crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, if you think about it, for other people, for let's say French people or Canadian or Americans, Chinese is also a hard language. That doesn't make sense. For them, that doesn't make sense. We have all these characters. We have maybe the same sound that can have different characters that has different meaning. See, that I think for them is crazy too. So I think it's just really perspective in a lot of things. Concern culture-wise, that's why I think it's really like a beauty for the language. Obviously, it was learning it was a painful experience. But in the end,
I always, because I self learned a lot of French as well.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time learning by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I always stop, go, go. Go and stop. But like I feel like it's like this language is like a programming language, totally like programming. A lot of logic inside.
Yeah, you can. I see it.
Yeah, a lot of you have to pay attention to here, there, the rules. It looks like very like coding.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It definitely is. When I think about it more, it's definitely similar to coding. Because if you have like one mistake, well, it's not that as dramatic as coding, because in coding, if you have one mistake, the whole code doesn't work. But in French language, you have a mistake, sometimes it changes the meaning, and you don't really know if, like, let's say your verb is not conjugated in the right way. Sometimes people get confused on which pronoun are you referring to with that verb. So they don't even know who was the one who performed the action. So yeah.
The only thing I think this is the problem of the counting. The 80 equals like 420s. That's kind of you lose respect there.
Yeah. So it's really interesting that you brought it up, because there's also a lot of I would say attempts to understand French language, and online on social media. Let's say TikTok. Do you use TikTok sometimes?
No, I never use TikTok.
You don't use TikTok, okay.
Maybe for young people.
Maybe, for
generation thing.
Exactly. So on TikTok, there was a video, really interesting, that's basically a person who's comparing how different languages say the numbers, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes to French, Americans or like other country, they're always surprised by how we say 80, because 80 is 420.
Yeah, 420.
Which, like, it's really funny, because in the video they say, in order for you to say French numbers, you have to do math at the same time. So yeah, definitely.
But it's all decimal system. It's supposed to be decimal system, right? Mm-hmm. Decimal, like you have 80 is 8 tenths, right? 90 9 tenths. All the other, maybe that's the only language doing that. Maybe they probably really want to use the word score, right? Yeah. Score means 20, right? In English, right?
Score?
Yeah, one score of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Something is 12.
Right.
Score is 20.
Right.
So
okay.
they want to really force, just use that word of score. Like let's force score 80.
Maybe. I mean, it's definitely still weird when you think about it. You have to do like math, like adding and multiplying at the same time. So, but it's really interesting, because it never crossed my mind. Because when I learned it, I was just like, okay, 420 equals 80, right? I never said, oh, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah, I know. That's the resistance. I did not spend enough time to try hard enough to learn French, because what the hell is this? So I kind of lost interest. That's something to try to find an excuse.
Do you have like any goals for learning French? Like, I think when I was younger, it was really naive goals. But like, let's say for a week, sometimes I would tell myself, you know what, I would like to be able to say I would like to go to the bathroom. Okay. In French, fully, no errors. So that was like small goal that made me practice.
Wow,
Do you have like any specific goals? Maybe you would like to, you know what, for the next year, I would be able to serve customers in French, let's say.
No, for me, was not.
Okay.
That was, I guess, when I had the IT job. Mm-hmm. Normally, I had more time. Mm-hmm. So that time, I was thinking. So when we decide to have a kid, the kid is 8, so that's 9-10 years ago. I start to learn French by myself, because I wanted to know French before the kid was born, or when kid was growing. So I could like teach her in French. I still understand French, but that goal was not achieved at all.
I think she's performing really well. I mean,
yeah, she's really probably for her will be for my daughter. She's French first, English second, the Chinese third. But,
Chinese third.
Yeah, but
interesting.
She speaks all three languages pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah. But always French first, but she likes to use English though. It's maybe a lot of YouTube videos, these kind of movies.
I have a question for you. When you see her, you know, sometimes when I go back to or when I talk to my my family in China, they always say I'm no longer Chinese because like I might appear that Chinese, but my mind is like Western. Yeah. Do you think your daughter is more of a Western cultured kid, or it's more like Chinese because your both parents are Chinese and you kind of?
I guess probably she's more Western than you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably because you have a good foundation of Chinese language, but she does not.
Okay.
So you read, right? You still read and write, right? In Chinese.
I still read. Writing is a bit difficult, I would say, since no practicing, you know.
Now, how many characters you can write? 500, 400 characters?
Don't give me too many credits. I don't think I can write that many.
But for my daughter, she's born here, so everything the mindset is totally different.
Okay.
Totally different. Probably she's probably first of all is local Canadian.
Local, huh?
Yeah. The General Chicken is for the CBC.
CBC.
Canadian born Chinese.
I mean, it's really good, by the way. As usual.
Yeah, it's really nice, to be honest. It's like meat and nothing wrong with it. So, and sweet, nothing wrong with being sweet.
Well, yeah. But see, you also have to be careful because you can eat a lot of that because it's kind of fried, right? But you know, what I mean is Wendy's not gonna kill you. You enjoy, but you can't eat for like frequently.
We have another appetizer called peanut butter sauce.
Peanut butter sauce? Oh yeah.
Wonton. And the peanut butter sauce is so sweet, like addictive, crazy.
Really?
They use from calf, the bought from Costco, like the peanut butter sauce. It's so sweet. It's addictive, and it's an appetizer. 5 pieces of wonton. So every time, like I eat a lot sometimes.
So I'm guessing it's also really popular within your customers as well. Yeah,
it's very sweet. It's the peanut sauce. This one is spicy. You can try this one.
Yeah, I'll try it. That's the Sichuan pot, right?
Sichuan pot thing, spicy pot. This one can have. It has like a pork.
Yeah.
And the squid. Shrimp and also the spam.
Spam.
Yeah, the luncheon thing. Yeah, I ate all of them probably. 午餐肉.
Yeah.
I ate. That's only on the top. Oh yeah, there's another. We can try. There's another one. I ate a lot of pieces. Like this one.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it is a little bit spicy, but like, it's not like it's a flavorful spice. It's not like just spicy, you know.
And also has the Sichuan peppercorn, so it's the numbness.
Yeah, the numbing.
Yeah, numbing thing. Yeah.
Mala, you know?
Mala, yeah. It's a Sichuan peppercorn. 花椒. So like after 1 year, like you ate 9, you kind of really good with French. So how about English? When did you pick up your English, or like naturally, not like?
I would say I picked up English after I was done with the welcome class. I was transferred to a regular French, you know, primary school, and by watching videos online or by watching TV, because sometimes, I mean, I think at that point internet wasn't as popular as today. So not a lot of people watch all their videos on YouTube. It was mostly TV. So I watched TV, and my English was kind of learned that way, by watching cartoons. So that was my way of learning English. And eventually what happened is I started playing video games, young kid, young boy. Started playing video games, and in video games, they also have actors who speak in English.
That time was PlayStation?
Yeah, I started with a PlayStation, then got a
was 3, 2? 2?
I had a PlayStation 2 at that point, and then I got an Xbox. But then after that, I stopped playing console. I just went to a computer instead because it had more options.
So all self-learning, that English,
Yeah.
Talking to friends.
Talking to friends as well, but the thing with learning a language is because you're in the environment, right? You're in Quebec. You have both languages always. Both languages are always spoken multiple times. So it kind of forces you to learn it, even if you don't want it, because by the time you hear all of those languages, those words, whether in English or French, you might not remember all of the words, but some words you will remember and you will repeat and you will understand what it means. And by practicing, by always talking the same way, and also speaking French one day, then speaking English another day, eventually you kind of become confident in your ability to speak, and then you just it comes up naturally after that. I think in language, the best thing to understand is practice makes it perfect. Yeah. I would say in any other sports or job or activity, you have to practice to be good, and language is the same thing, by repetition, right? So that's how I learn it.
Even I don't speak much French, but the few sentences I speak, the French sentences I speak really good. I say them every day.
Here you go. Yeah. Here you go.
So your primary school is in public school?
Yeah, it was in public school.
But not like the high school now is private or public?
My school itself was a public school, but that public school had a program that was private that needed an exam to get in. It was an international program. You heard about it?
Oh, is that international school? There's a not that international school, right? There's a
no. It's like an international program where everything is kind of
standard
enriched to another level. Yeah. So I had the top level of math, top level of French, top level of English, all of that. So, so I guess in a sense, no, it wasn't a private school by any means, but in a sense, it was more like a selective program. Yeah.
The Chinese parents, a lot of them, they really spend a lot of resources on the school, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of focus on school, but I have to thank my mom for that. She didn't really force me to go to a certain school, because in high school you could have chosen to go to a private school. But I feel like with the program I was in, I was able to get the education I needed, despite not being in a private school. High school, I don't know. For me, high school is not that important, I would say. The most important thing in high school is to learn having your habit, learning how to study. That's how I learned in high school, is to learn what is my main way of studying, what fits me the most. And I was still learning when I was in university, but it was my first understanding of my own capabilities of learning certain aspect, exploring math, exploring languages. So yeah, but understanding how you learn in high school is really important.
So the high school 5 years or 6 years, right? 5 years.
It's 5 years. High school is 5 years, and then you have CEGEP.
You went to CEGEP as well, right?
Yeah, I went to CEGEP.
1 year CEGEP or
2 years.
But I thought it was 1 year CEGEP, then you go to a university instead of college.
No, it's here in Quebec. It's 2 years. CEGEP, depending on the program. Some people in CEGEP, they have professional programs. We call it a technique. In other words, where They go there, they do like a 3-year program, and after that, after they're done, they're professional.
Oh yeah, they got it's college degree. Is that the same?
Yeah, it's kind of like a certificate.
Yeah,
it's more than a certificate.
It's in Chinese, it's going to be
Yeah, I think so. I'm not quite sure the equivalent.
So that's 3 years in Zhejiang.
Okay.
So you graduate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you study 2 years and move on to the university.
Exactly.
Okay. I thought it was 1 year or 2 years, so it's maybe 1 year less.
So what I did was 大学预科, you know. Yeah. So just before university, you have like 2 years of CJEP.
Which CJEP do you go to?
Dawson.
All those famous ones, Dawson, those several. Now I need to get familiar with all this. Chinese parents, they really prepare long before.
Yeah, the reason why I went to Dawson is because I could have went to Edouard Montpetit, which is a CJEP on the South Shore. Okay. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to go out of my comfort zone.
Okay. A little bit farther from home.
Further from home, but I wanted to explore the downtown. Okay. Dawson is at the Atwater metro station. And I wanted to explore downtown because, you know, all my life, up until that point, I was on the South Shore. So I was like, you know what, let's go downtown and see what Montreal is like. And, although I enjoyed the experience, I would say Montreal is really, really crowded. So that's why I'm like, you know, whenever I go back to China, I'm going to get like a really culture shock and surprise, right? Because so many people all the time.
But after you moved here, what year, how old were you, like your first time visit back? Like 9, 10?
I don't actually remember exactly, but I think it was like 10 years. When I was 10 years old, I went back once.
Not so many times.
Nope. I was busy with school. I also had I had to work at the same time I was going to school, so I did have a lot of vacation that was available for me to go back to China. But now that I have a full-time job and have my vacations, that we're planning maybe planning a trip next year. When COVID comes down.
But when you were 10, would that be a strange experience, or like you just left you went through a lot of change, like for that 3 years, right?
Yeah.
You kind of establish yourself in another country with your language skills and the new friends school.
Exactly. So I think at that point, I was like 50%. You know, I was like 50 Western, 50 Chinese after 3 years. When I went back, a lot of people mentioned that, you know, I had this Western mentality, but you know, I was still young, right? So I was
10,
extremely influenceable. So it wasn't like, oh, I don't recognize you anymore, you're no longer Chinese. It's more like, oh, how cute, he came back from another country. Well, how is he doing? Well, you grew so tall. You know, a lot of people, when you meet in Chinese friends or families, the first thing they ask you is, or the first thing they say to you is, why are you so skinny? Do you eat enough? Are you growing? Yeah. And how are your studies? Those are like the 3 questions, the typical Chinese question that people ask you, right? So, you know, obviously we had a lot of family dinner at that point when we went back to China. So we had those questions asked on like every single day, every single week. You know, I'm pretty much a skinny guy, so obviously
you were skinny. Yeah,
my family
were stronger than before. You are stronger than before, I guess. Before you were.
Yeah, I was pretty, you know, skinny.
Maybe you work out.
Yeah, now I'm working out, but you know, I'm still skinny for my taste, but still. Yeah, a lot of questions were always asking, why are you so skinny? Why are you so skinny? I'm like, yo, I don't know. I eat until I'm done, but I guess I wasn't eating enough.
But do they compare you to the other kids around same age?
Because of course.
Because in China, the kids, they learn a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They learn a lot of stuff at school, the mathematics, everything.
Yep.
Like the 3 years you spend here, you're gonna be left behind a lot in mathematics, I believe.
That's true.
So smart kids, like 10 years old, like they know everything about mathematics. Here, there, you kind of kids from they come back, they look a little bit dumb, you know, on those kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely true. The first difference I noticed between Chinese maybe culture and here is the education system.
Yeah.
we're really advanced in China in terms of math education.
Yeah.
They have their own culture, but in China we have a lot of math competitions within class. We're always trying to perform as being the best. So that's kind of like a toxic competition experience, but at the same time it kind of pushes you up.
You always have a ranking, like mathematics,
exactly.
Chinese. You have like who's the first, second, the list from first to the last one.
Exactly. So
they don't do it here, right?
No, they don't do it here because that will be extremely.
Yeah, it's kind of give you in your mind like, why am 50 kids? I'm the 49th.
Yeah, exactly. So they don't do that here because it has a psychological impact. No, I'm not gonna say that's the proper way to do it, but it's definitely like a toxic competition environment there.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, what happens with that competitive environment is that it pushes you up because you don't want to be the last, right? So you're going to study harder.
Yeah. Your parents will punish you as well. Like when you have why you are like at the bottom, like bottom half or the bottom third.
Yeah.
But I was really like when the first time I went to the high school, the junior high school, the first grade, and before the finish of the semester, and we have in the middle of the semester we have exam.
Okay.
Like the second exam will be the end of the semester. So I entered the grade 1 for the high school. I was of the 50 or 60 kids, I was 40 something. I was ranked 40 something.
Okay.
After 2 exams, at the end of the first semester, I was number 1 in the class.
Oh, really? Yeah. So you study hard?
Yeah. No, I guess I was a little bit smarter than that. Seriously, I just like from the bottom to the first in the class because when you graduate from the primary school, it was in the village. So the kids from all different villages. Yeah. So you get the score from that village, your graduation, the last test in the primary school. All different villages, they came, the kids from the villages, so they use your test score to rank you. Okay. To have, you are the number 1. I remember that, yeah. And then you are number 1, number 2, and our number 1 is a pretty girl from another village. So she was the number 1. I was number 40 something. And then after 2 exams, maybe the second exam, the midterm, probably I was 20 something or 10 something. Yeah. And then the last one, that's like
you were first.
Wow. It's amazing.
Wow.
The same thing happened when I entered the senior high school. So 3 years junior high school. We were from different towns, different small towns, like really bad towns. And then we go to the county. It's a little bit more like a city. It's a senior high school. I was ranked probably 40 something as well.
40 something.
Yeah, the same thing happened. I was the number 1. I ranked number 1 at the end of the semester.
What changed?
Just I studied a little bit and then got really good.
Maybe you'd taken it more seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just put me this group, I will perform well, and then put another group, perform well as well. So, awesome. But it's brutal, seriously. Some kids are not smart. Somehow we spend the same amount of time studying and attend the class, but somehow they rank 35. I was always 1 or 2. The worst, I probably number 3 in the class. So it's like the teacher will look, this guy have future, this. But other kids, they always bottom. And physically they are big or strong, but they're always the bottom. Sometimes, why can you pass have 100 points every exam? Yeah. So why do you only get 30 something? The mathematics you get 30, or physics you get 25. Some kids
maybe their talent is not there, because some people are more math focused, they're more academia focused, while other people are more sports, so they're more athletic.
But as we speak today, I guess in China, in the primary school, they abandoned that kind of the standing the list as well. I guess they dropped that kind of the ranking.
Yeah,
for all kids in the class.
Understandable, because at a certain point it puts a lot of pressure on the kids, and it's not a fun experience.
Not at all. Especially you have we have French, the mathematics, English, and Chinese. There are three subjects. We call three major subjects.
Okay, yeah.
You always learn these three as a main subject.
Yeah.
And they will give you report. You scored 97, pretty good, 97. And on math, and then Chinese maybe 87, 85. And then what's your ranking in this subject?
Wow.
Everything. So your report will have everything. So math ranking first, and then English rank 2, second, and then that third. And you need to work on the chemistry. The chemistry, like maybe you rank 10. You get 70 something. It's always a story.
I remember that because, yeah. I was in primary school when I was 7 before I came here, so I also experienced that. But I have a very, very vague memory of the rankings. Yeah. I was told, however, my writing, Chinese character when you write, it's not beautiful. That's what I was told when I was younger.
It's very difficult.
My writing is sluggish, so it doesn't appear beautiful.
I guess from grade 1 you have the training, like the Hong on the paper you follow the thing, right? So it's more relaxing here, right? School.
I mean, definitely more relaxing. Not that much pressure, but because there's not a lot of pressure, if you wanna excel or succeed, you have to be disciplined. Because nobody's gonna force you, right? There's no competitive environment that's gonna say, okay, if you don't perform, you're gonna be last.
Mathematics is really crazy. The last time I brought my daughter home, like the first time when she was 6, my classmates in high school, we all had a meeting, like a reunion thing.
Okay.
Like another classmate, like he has a son, 6 as well, maybe two months younger than my daughter.
Okay.
And that guy, the boy, so good at mathematics. Like we used to play the game, like playing cards, right? You have a deck of play cards. You have a deck. Everybody took 2, like throw 2 cards in the middle, and with the numbers on the card. By any calculation you want to use, always get 24. Whoever get the 24, because the formula to make the 24, you take all the cards. That's how you.
Okay, I see the game.
And that 6 years old boy is really good at that. That you have to multiply or divide or subtract or the add, all the kind of thing. That means he knew that kind of subtraction, multiply. That time my daughter could not figure out 3 plus 2. It was fucked. So he could not figure out 10 plus whatever. But that young boy, little bit younger than her, and he was so good at that mathematics.
Maybe he had more practice. You know.
Crazy.
I mean, kids are smart.
Yeah, because I used to play that game. Like but I don't know it was 6 or 8 or 7.
Okay.
But we were playing that. But the kids, like my daughter, she grew up here, had no idea with those kind of the multiply is nothing. She knew nothing about multiply. Like 2 multiply 3 equals 6, nothing. And that young boy, 6 years boy, could do that. The game.
He came from China, or he was?
They're always living there. He was always living in Nanjing.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So my classmate all time living in Nanjing.
Okay. See, that's a difference, right? The education system. They train you.
Yeah, they train kids extremely
hard. I remember
hard.
They train the kids. I mean, it might be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you see it. But I remember when I was younger, when I was in China, I had to do homework until like 11 or 10 o'clock because I have so many to do, and like. Homework for math, it was like, I don't know, 30 pages of like multiplication table, right? So that's why after you've done some math in China as a young kid and you come here as an immigrant, and you go into classes, you always outperform in math because you've been trained to do so, right? So it's not because we're more smart than people here. It's just because we have more training, you know?
It's crazy. Those young kids like really good at that kind of mathematics, everything. It's like they're very mature. Like sometimes, I guess in the village, sometimes my kids like 8, 9 years old, they talk like adults, like
Really?
yeah, crazy. They're so smart. They get exposed to adults conversation because there's no filter.
Yeah.
The people, parents, they don't have filters about talking about their thing or they curse, whatever. So sometimes they talk like adults. It's really shocking, like several years old, like. So you probably can survive the society. You probably can society all this.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I think that's also interesting because in Chinese parties, there's a difference, right? The kids is also with their parents when the adult talk.
Yeah.
Here, it's different. You have all the kids playing in the playground and adult talk. So there's never this exposure for the kids of what adult conversation is. But in Chinese culture, there's nothing like that. In Chinese culture, the kids is right beside the mom when she's talking, so all sorts of. I think it's just a difference of culture, but hey.
And when we watch movies in China, we don't. The kids all watch all movies, right? There's no for this for PG-13, this for.
There's no like filtering, right? Yeah. It's like exposure, a lot of exposure.
So after the 10, and when was the last time you went back?
Just 10 once. I only went back once.
Really?
In 19 years, once only.
Really? Yeah, if you go back now, you will say, "Whoa!" So it's like really a foreigner.
Exactly, and you know what surprised me a lot is also that I have family there that told me there's a lot of technical advancements in China.
Yeah.
A lot of HangZhou is
it's
no longer the same.
Alibaba, the headquarters of Alibaba.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a tech city, right? It's a high tech city.
Yep. Apparently, HangZhou is no longer what I know.
Yeah.
It's becoming a
20 years. It's huge difference. But even the whole high school you went to the public school, right? Not the private school.
Exactly.
Do they have troubles there? Like a lot of parents, they worry about the public school. The kids, they smoke, they do all the crazy things.
See, that's an interesting point you bring up because in private school, there's also things like that, right?
They're rich kids.
They're just richer.
Yeah,
right?
they're rich
so
kids.
Instead of having maybe cigarettes or poor stuff, they have drugs and all of that, right? But that's speculation. I have never seen anything like it. I've just heard from it. That's my opinion, my perspective. So in public school, you have two different kind of people.
Yeah.
Those who did not give any attention to school, they just wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
Those are the people who often would start food fights in the cafeteria. Not focusing on studying. Just having fun in general. And there are also those who are more studious, so they focus on school. So they're just try-harding. They're studying.
But when you come across them, do they bully you? Do they give you trouble?
Not exactly.
The good students and bad students.
Yeah. I would say because of the international program I talked to you about, we're separated. Although we meet each other during like lunch or the breaks, we don't really talk to each other because like there's a circle that's been formed, right? We have this circle of international programs and we have this circle of just regular students.
They just don't have pressure to move on, right? To move to another level, like CJAP or some people some of them even not going to CJAP, right? Do you have all of them go through CJAP?
I won't say all of them go to CJAP. I think a lot of people after high school they either stop because they don't have the motivation to continue study. They don't like study. They don't like to go to school. Let's say, or they have other plans.
Right? But at least they finish CJAP, right? Or no? Some of them even.
I personally don't know if there are people who did not go to CJAP, but I'm sure there are people who stopped after high school and started working right away.
But not so many, just like maybe 5%, less than 5%.
I can't say. It's really hard to guess because in the school there's our program, the international program. We are what? We are 100 people max.
Okay.
100 students of, let's say, the seniors, right, were international program, and the rest are all regular students. So at that point, it's really hard for us to kind of predict how many people went to CEGEP or not. I know that all of our international program people, we all went to CEGEP.
Okay.
That's for sure. But the regular students, I think obviously there are some who did not go to CEGEP, who started working right away. So.
But do you like you have the yearbook thing? Everybody knows everybody, or like some people they just don't.
Oh, I would say we're pretty much close circle. The international program just has one circle, so we have our special, I would say, yearbook. We have like a section of like, you know, in the yearbook, usually they mix class, right? They have like, okay, class A, class B, class C. Did we, in our yearbook, I remember, I mean, I wasn't sure, but that's like, my memory is pretty vague, but I think we had like a regular students, then there's class A, class B, class C, and then after that, towards the end, we had our own international program, and then there's class A, class B, so it's kind of like separated. So as you can see, the segregation is kind of important in high school.
But that may not be very correct right now doing that.
No, I don't think it's correct right now doing this. I'm not even sure the international program is still available, because it's a lot of work, huh? Not necessarily for the student. Well, for the student, yes, but also for the teacher. The teacher who has to teach the international programs, they have a lot of things to worry about as well. Exams, you know, it's different material.
But like you also like the high school, the Finnish high, they have a prom, right? You went to prom as well. That would be a big pressure for some people, some students.
What do you mean by pressure?
The prom, like some people, like I don't want to go to the party or whatever.
Oh no, I think everybody went to the prom.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody happy.
Yeah, everybody was happy. I think everybody.
Some geek may feel really pressured.
I mean, there are two types of people, right? They're introverts, they're extroverts. Extroverts are be happy. Introverts are be like, you know, I'm just gonna go there because, you know, we have to. But I think everybody in our program went to the prom. We were happy because it was over, not because we had the prom.
Yeah.
Because for us, prom meaning high school was over.
Yeah, high school over.
And we're moving on to the next step. So that was the most.
Also, you are 18. Most people will be 18 around that age at that time, right?
Yeah, 17, 18, around that age, yeah.
To have more like autonomy on yourself, like a lot of.
Yeah, a lot of freedom, I would say, because at this point you can work without having, you know, talk about your parents. But see, I think it's a bit of a difference in culture as well, because for me, I was always close with my mom. You know, so regardless, even if I had a lot of freedom, I always consult my mom just in case. So that's like the Chinese culture, you know.
Yeah. But was your mom worried about like the high school, like that time?
Oh, for me, no, not really, because she knew I was a good kid. You know, I wasn't really someone who would always go out, you know, late at night. I was more of an introvert, so I stayed at home most of the time. I was, you know, geeky, so I played a lot of video games with my friends online. And my mom, I think she preferred that than me going outside and make trouble. So. Yeah, it was a fun experience.
So you're on the geek side, not like crazy kid, like very social.
Yeah, I think I'm more of an introvert. I prefer, you know, although I do like social interactions. I do prefer my alone times a lot. But it's kind of difficult today, because today I think I'm more of a. I mean, by as a baseline, naturally, I'm more of an introvert, but I can become an extrovert if I wanted to, depending on the environment. So I can adapt. See, if there's a lot of extroverted people, I will kind of absorb their energy and become extrovert, like during that time.
Yeah, but, especially the work you do, probably, right? The work you do. Yeah. You need to talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. So me, as work, I'm a project manager, right? So I have a lot of meetings in a day. So you kind of have to get into this extroverted personality. But I think people notice that I'm more of a
But,
Sorry about that. I'm more of an introverted person.
But after the CJAP, how did you choose your university, like next level education? How did you choose?
Okay, so that's really interesting because you know how a lot of Chinese parents or
like
Chinese
a lawyer
people,
or the medical.
yeah, exactly. So my goal was to become a doctor. So some people might be asking why I'm a project manager. I'll get to that. So my goal after CJIP was being a doctor. So in CJIP I did health science, which is
the real doctor open people up.
Yeah, like a surgery,
like cut you open.
Yeah, cut you open, that kind of doctor. So I wanted to become a doctor, so I studied health science for 2 years in Egypt, and I got the grades. I applied for medicine. I was on the waiting list, did not get accepted, so I decided to go to one of the best universities that we know that's in Montreal, which is McGill.
Okay.
So I went to McGill as a microbiology and immunology bachelor's degree.
That's like COVID thing.
It's COVID, basically.
You made that.
I did not make that, but it's the study of that. So I went that. I got my bachelor, so I did 3 years of that. Got my grade, reapplied to med school, still got a waiting list, and got rejected. And then after that point, after 2 trials, I was like, okay, maybe they did not want me to go to medicine, Anyway, so I kind of stopped. But thinking back, actually, I think I should have continued, because if I did a master's, I had better grades, I might get into med school. So today will be different. But at that time, I think the best choice I had was just to finish my bachelor's, work a little bit, 1 or 2 years, see what I like.
You are in the good field as well. That thing is well respected.
You mean project management?
No, the what is the
microbiology. Yeah, exactly. It was well respected, but I wasn't at like a research level, because for a research level you need a PhD, which a doctor.
Really? That's the starting point.
Well, I mean, if you do a master's, you're doing some kind of research, but to be recognized and to be doing something significant, you need to be a PhD. So that's going to be quite a lot of studies. So I decided to take a break and work. After 2 years of working, I decided to go back to doing masters in project management, because I wanted to have like a technical degree, which is my microbiology, and a practical degree, which is the management administrative side, right? So the thing that's weird is, after I'm done with my master's degree, which is I graduated this year, I got hired by Desjardins as an IT project manager. So I went from like microbiology to IT.
So totally not related.
Definitely not related. But at the same time, I'm considering going back to pharmaceuticals, because that's like both of my fields. So I would like to maybe manage pharmaceutical projects instead. That's more interesting for me. But still, I'm learning IT today, and definitely not the same as a biology. It's more complex, I would say, in terms of implementing a project itself. A lot of things that doesn't work in IT.
IT is, but I think that the bio thing is like a more protect field, more like elite. There are not so many people in that field. IT, you have everybody. If you have more people working in that field, it means you are not so elite. Elite, it's kind of selected a few. Very few people in this, elected.
I think you can see it like that, but I don't see it really like that. I just see it as a passion, maybe, because a lot of people are more interested by technology than the human body, right? So instead of doing research on COVID or on the human body, you know what, I'm gonna go develop technologies all my life.
I always have a theory. Like the lawyers and doctors, they are paid extremely well.
Yeah.
Because these two professions, they are the victims sometimes. Because for myself, I won't do either one of them.
No.
Because the lawyers first. When you represent your client to win a case, sometimes it could be wrong or something. You win for them, and in those scenarios, they already in a fight. So either you win or lose. So you piss up people. you make people mad.
Okay.
So when you make people mad, and then that put you in
okay,
in a position, so you're exposed to a certain level of danger.
Right. Okay.
You make other side of people really miserable. They lost something.
Yeah.
So that's really not good to as a person to have a healthy relationship with another person. So when you go through 100 cases, like or 200 cases, you win 100. Like the losing side of the 100 cases, they may hold personal grudge against you. Maybe not reasonable, but it happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
I
so
think it must
you
happen,
deal with people's situations, and the doctors the same. You see a lot of people. You cut people up. You open up. You see a lot of miserable thing, like happen on the people, and that mess up with your mind.
Right.
So these two fields really tough on them, to be honest. Even they not worry about their income. Their income really good. Their salary good. Well respected. No, lawyers not well respected, but at least doctors, they are really respected. But the when you practice your profession, but you're exposed to a lot of stuff, may have negative impact on yourself.
Yeah.
And when you see so many people dying their last moments, a tragedy, it messes up your mind. Some people, they are stronger, mentally. Some people, over time, you see 100 people die different 100 ways.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's not easy. That's why I think it's very, very, very reasonable to give these two professions a lot of money, because that's the compensation they deserve.
Definitely. I mean, but at the same time, you can also see it like this. People who went there, right, they have a passion for it, but they're also selected. Because that's why, these programs or the studies for these professions, they're so selective. You have to go a lot of process. You have to go, you have to have the grades for it, meaning you can study it.
The doctors, they're all genius. They're good at the math. Or good at
exactly, right? Yeah. So they have to you kind of have to have this level of, I don't want to say intelligence, because it can be categorized differently, but I would say this level of academia competency. But you also have to be selective. That's why they go through interviews to be interviewed as to study medicine, let's say, right? And in those interviews, they kind of evaluate your psychology, how you perceive things. So
you see when people die,
exactly, right? But I'm sure. I mean, even
you're guilty. Oh, I did not do this properly. I forgot one thing. Exactly. I could have saved this person.
Right. But I think these are like, I don't want to say common situations, but there are a lot of situations that these doctors have to face. But the thing I don't like maybe with the system is that it's true that doctor has to face those situations, but you have to also consider nurses, right? In Quebec, nurses are like important part of the healthcare system. They also see people die, but they're not as they're not paid as much.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the sad part.
But why did you want to want to become a doctor? That's kind of
why I wanted to become a doctor. Well, I mean, obviously when I was little, coming from a Chinese background, I'm not gonna hide anything. It's obviously prestige. There's a lot of prestige to that. Yeah. But also, I also have a tendency to want to help people, and I feel like a doctor was kind of a good profession for both of it. So first of all, you have the prestige of being one doctor, and also the second one, you can help people. But eventually, I would say my main goal was to make sure that I had enough knowledge to take care of my parents when they get older, right? Chinese kids or Chinese culture, the kids...
You can learn the Chinese medicine.
Maybe, I mean... So in Chinese culture, a lot of the kids, they're expected to take care of their parents as a filial, right? Being as a filial son or daughter.
But you are the only child, right?
I'm the only child, so I think that's, I don't want to say that's even worse, but the thing is, as being an only child, your parents,
but that's the thing.
Old age is kind of on you a little bit. You have to take care of them, but it's not because I feel obligated to. It's because I want to.
But that's something to be honest, when I'm old, very old, I really want to be independent as well. I really don't want to have my kids, my daughter, like looking after me that much, because that's two different systems. One system, they are more independent, like in China tradition is when you are young, your parents give you too much, more than what you deserve or what the other norms. Even you are getting married, they give you money to buy a condo, a house.
Right.
That's kind of too much help. But in turn, they expect or something when they are super old, you take care of them. So they are over helping, and then they need when they're old, they kind of overly need help. But in other system or the Western, probably I raise you up, and then you grow up, you're on your own.
You're on your own,
yeah. We have best friends, close relationship, but when you are old, you go to a nursing home, and then you die or whatever. But they don't have that burden on their generation, the kids. But so it's more give them more space to develop have their own career, their family.
Exactly.
So it's more free, but but your starting point when you are 20 something, you generally you don't have the financial help or the even taking care of your young kids from the grandparents, right? So you don't have the extra help. But it's like a spectrum. They all move when you are young, when you're old. They all move this little bit, right? But in this, like both of them move in the same way. But for me, to be honest, I think it's too much pressure on the generations. That's why, like when they treat you too well, they give you too much. So naturally, they expect you respect them more. They have more saying on your personal stuff.
Right. Okay.
Why are you not married? Like you are 30, you are not married, and when are you gonna have a kids? This kind of pressure.
See, I think my mom has the same view. She told me like I don't want to put any burden or pressure on you. I'll take care of myself when I'm older, and I respect that. But it's for me, it's more of my personal desire. Like I want to, not the fact that I feel obligated to. And my mom is really really cool. She never like. She never like kind of forced me to do. Okay, why? Like I'm 26, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still considered young, but like technically in 4 years, I'm 30. So one would expect me to be, either have settled down, married, and all of that. Yeah, I still have 4 years, but my mom told me, you know what? Take care of yourself first. Build your financial situation first. Learn all the skills you need. Take risks if you have to, because currently you don't have a girlfriend. You have a stable job, you have a stable income, you don't have a lot of source that you need to pay. So focus on, take some risks, do some things that you want. I'm learning investing, so take some risk in that. Build up your financial situation. If you get married at 35, you get married at 35 because most likely your girlfriend at that time might be 4 years, I don't know how many years younger. Definitely, she's not the type of person who would say, I'm expecting this when I get older. She's more like, do your own stuff when you're older. But still, it's my desire of giving back what I received. I don't like to take stuff for free. So.
Well, wait till you get married. It depends on you. You see, it's our money. It's our. That's the thing. But right now, yours, you have a career. You're working. You have a career. Everything.
Yeah.
Do you have some people they very ambitious on their career? Some people they want probably you move up the ladder in the company corporation.
Yeah, that's
or
me.
Some people they just on the try to be starting a business or some not starting a business like a entrepreneur. That's more risky.
Yeah, I'm more of an ambitious person in terms of
in the corporation.
Yeah, climbing the ladder, but I'm also considering what I can start. As a maybe not as a business I've known, because I don't have a lot of knowledge on business starting. I don't have a lot of experience. I'm also exploring what are other possibilities. But I would say my short-term goal is to work 2 years, get enough experience, get the official project management certificate, so I can be recognized internationally, and after that, I will kind of look at my options.
PMP is still
PMP.
But still, that's been a lot of years. When I was like 10 years ago, a lot of people around me, they were doing the PMP.
Yeah, exactly. For me, is after I've done my master's, I need like a 2 years worth of experience before I can kind of take the test for the PMP. So I'm just doing the PMP. I will be doing the PMP basically, I think, next year.
Do you want to do the Toastmaster thing?
Toastmaster?
Yeah, Toastmaster, like a public speaking, like doing the motivation speaking, like it's training people. Toastmaster, it's an organization, big organization.
To be honest, I haven't think about it yet. I'm not sure if like I have the public speaking skills to do so. Hopefully, maybe one day. Obviously, speaking in front of a crowd is, I never had a lot of experience speaking in front of a huge crowd. We did project presentations in front of certain amount of people, but like let's say for public speakers, they usually have like 1,000, 2,000 people in the room. So
maybe you become a manager or director or some
maybe
financial report, like a
quarterly
report.
Yeah, exactly. You might have to, but since I'm in project management, I doubt it. But you never know what the future's gonna have for you. So
that's good. And also, I guess like when you have good education here, the pressure is not much for finding a nice job, right? I see a lot of like the second generation of Chinese immigrants.
Yeah,
it's very easy to find very, very nice job.
Yeah, exactly.
You have skills of language skills and then your education.
Exactly. I think it's pretty easy if you have like good level of education. That's pretty easy. But when you say good job, depends on the field you go into. If you categorize good job by the amount of income or pay you get, obviously certain industries are not as prominent. But you just acquire skills that you need. For me, I think I'm focusing more on learning. Well, obviously learning project management, learning how to invest. But I want to kind of delve into the world of creativity, which is mainly video editing. So that's why I asked you beforehand, do you edit your videos? So because I'm learning on that, because you see a lot of videos on YouTube, all of that, right? A lot of them, they're edited.
It's really amazing.
It's really good. Yeah. So I want to learn that just to as a skill.
Yeah, that skill is very, very. It's very expensive. Like it's very highly paid. Like video editing is crazy.
Obviously, and especially because the world is getting more digitized as itself. I mean, a lot of people are shopping online, right? Instead of going to stores. So that video presentation, that short 20 minutes of commercial or ad, better be good.
Yeah.
And the marketing team and the video editing team, they have to work together for that. So either marketing or video editing, I think I'm more suited for marketing, but we'll see.
You can start a vlog.
A vlog?
A vlog. Like shooting a video of yourself.
Yeah, the vlog. Maybe for YouTube. I can maybe start for that.
Yeah, like our vlog.
Yeah, but this is more of a podcast format, right? So.
But do you feel lucky, like you speak English, French, Chinese, and then in Montreal, and then get education degrees?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for what I have. Definitely lucky, and I wouldn't be able to do so if my mom did not take the step to immigrate to Canada. So that's really appreciative for that. Definitely lucky because not a lot of people has this kind of experience or opportunity even to learn other language.
Go to Europe anywhere you want to go.
Exactly.
Talk to a lot of people in different countries.
Exactly. So I'm definitely grateful for that. I think that's. I would like to explore that as well. I don't want to stay in Quebec, just in Quebec. I want to use my skills, my language proficiencies also elsewhere, in America or Paris or France, and see what happens there. But yeah, it's it's a good experience for someone.
Yeah, that's really. If I knew French, that would be amazing. HangZhou.
It's never too late, technically.
Yeah, I will. I will still spend time learning French, but just the restaurant just holding me down like a lot.
Oh.
We have today is Sunday. Yeah, we have some customer downstairs.
Yeah.
Is it too spicy for you?
No. Just take a little break. Sorry?
I ate a lot of stuff.
I mean, I eat a lot of those. The green beans, I mean, I eat a lot of that.
Thank you. Help me out on this.
Alright, I'll help you out.
I'm always eating.
See, the thing is, when I talk, I don't like having food in my mouth, so that's why I stop.
Yeah, that's the Western way. Like my daughter said, you kind of too loud, chewing too loud. You don't open mouth when you eat.
So that's why when I talk, I kind of cover my mouth.
Yeah, I think I gave up on that already. I'm more the stage of being myself. Feel like.
But that's perfectly fine though. Yeah. Me, I do it by habit.
I don't know. It's a kind of. I'm 42. A lot of people think it's the middle age crisis. Really don't know. Before, that's the people right now. I think it's really what is the panic mode or whatever mode. Even without the pandemic, people, if you have a full-time job like in an office, in Montreal, a lot of people will complain like the tax rate too high, right? Because you get a certain amount of salary and then you get the tax automatically, and then people always complain like you cannot get rich, right, by working a full-time job. Most time, if you're not the up management level. So if you live your life like this, like 40 years old, 50 years old, and all the time working in office, that's we call middle age crisis as well, because you never see, okay, you will live a really nice house, like really rich, you can go wherever. They always say like financially, like freedom, right? Financial freedom, like you want to, people want to be rich. So
I'm gonna ask you a question. You want to be rich or you want to be wealthy?
Wealth is much more rich than much more rich than being rich.
Well, technically, no, but from my perspective, right?
For me, money is not that crazy. But you have a situation, you have family, sometimes it's not.
You need a minimum. Yeah.
It is. For me, I just want to, I want to deal with the crisis as well, middle age crisis. A lot of people, they have a lot of pressure. Fortunately, I don't have that much. One of the reasons, having a business, because business, if you're very successful, you can get rich, right? You can get extra money for like a lot more than the office job.
Right.
So maybe one of the reasons at the beginning we try a little bit 7-8 years ago about the restaurant. So kind of obvious, it's a naive thought, like business can make money. It's kind of a bad business. It's not easy, very difficult business. So a lot of people, they face the same choice, especially like when you want to work till you're 50 years old, like still like maximum of manager or whatever, still a lot of tax. So they always got a lot of people get rich. So if you're not getting rich out there, you don't see in near future you have chance to get rich. Maybe your wife, your family, your in-laws, that's the pressure coming from. I don't think it's from individual itself. It's from your family, especially parents, spouse. That's the thing. Is the middle age crisis is mainly from that. Another thing is like as an immigrant, it could be a really bad thing. The China developed so much, so all your buddies, your colleagues, former colleagues, or your classmates, they made so much money, much more money than you. So they're much richer than you right now. So that gave a lot of people pressure as well. Because you can only make a move, like when you decide to immigrate, to move to another country. and for your kids' education, for whatever reasons you have. But after several years, you still have a decent job here. But after several years, your old friends in China, by the property value, right, they're gonna be much more like people in Shanghai or the big cities.
Right.
Like one condo worth like $1 million, more than like $2 million right now, $1 million. So naturally there will be more. So always make you think you made a mistake or make a move to move outside of the country. That kind of give like my generation, little bit older than me, 40 or 50 years old,
right.
When they moved out, they missed a lot of chances because they were in a better position. They're in a like big companies or in the government or in some organizations.
Mm-hmm.
That when they were leaving China, they had a really good positions in their organizations. So all the people having similar positions, they make much more money after that. So that kind of, sometimes you feel, oh, I regretted moving out a little bit. And then sometimes you feel, okay, we have a different life. You can always find to comfort yourself. But sometimes your spouse or parents, they say, you made a bad move, Sometimes this kind of the pressure is psychological and make a lot of people,
Right. But I guess it depends on what you value the most, right? Because what do you value? Do you value money more? Or?
That's still that value. You can reason with yourself at midnight.
Exactly.
But every day, your parents, your family, they're gonna talk to you.
Right. So like I mentioned, it's their value and your value, and it's also what you value most, right? If you value financial power a lot, then obviously, if you take it as that perspective, you made a wrong choice. I would say, but you wouldn't know because at that point, in the past, you made a choice for you that was the best.
But some people they tend to blame. They say things obviously you did not know. Right, but the problem they always say, we should not do this. People always.
It's so easy to blame. It's so easy to say, okay, we made it. No, it's so easy to say we made a wrong choice in the past when we see the results today, right?
Yeah.
Today, let's say, okay, let's talk about today. Okay, we say, okay, you're gonna learn French today, like really well for the next year, and we'll see what happens in 5 years. Okay, if in 5 years your French capabilities boosted your business, your restaurant, right? And you become rich. You will say, man, taking French or learning French was the best choice, was the best decision I've ever made. But if learning French, it gives you a lot of hardship. You're unable to be focused. You're like, it was so hard. A lot of psychological pain. You say, man, learning French that year was the worst choice that I ever made. So depending on the results, it's gonna have a different perspective. In China, obviously the boom made a lot of people rich, huh? A lot of people.
I guess that's the source of a lot of pressure, the anxiety of Chinese immigrants. A lot of them, I know some friends.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I haven't left my my job in China, I would be super rich. I worked in Huawei. It's super bad. I would tons of money. Will make tons. It's this thing you cannot escape. You can all reason saying like we should not think this way.
Right.
But people they do think this way. Your parents, your family, your close friend, they do think this way. That gives the pressure. This is not escapable. Sometimes you think it's easy to escape. Let's take about value, but when people they blame you or like when things are not going well, in reality it's just that's the problem.
Let's say, what's stopping you from going back to Huawei?
No, there's no way back.
Why?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
It's just time passed. You lost your position, and then this big organization, you are nothing. You left. It's very simple. There's a.
You cannot go back to China. Is that what you didn't work there?
I don't think so because you have family here, you have everything here. If you start over, there's no we are 40 something as a people engineer. You are too old for a lot of people. Because they a lot of time they need to work overtime. Like you're young, you are 22, 23, 25, 26.
Right.
You just work till 12 o'clock at midnight. And you go home tomorrow 7 o'clock. You show up again. You know, it's young people.
Exactly,
yeah,
but
young people. You know, you miss the ship. You miss the ship. But the problem if you miss the ship, you just stay with what you have right now. But the problem is the other side is looking better and better, better and better. So it gives you a lot of people. Really, a lot of people they have this issue, this psychological thing. It's very, very. If one day, let's assume like that side is not doing well, so people they probably feel a little bit relieved or something. It's always a compare. The people they always compare. So like one side they're doing extremely well last 20 years, 10 years, extremely well. So that makes like even I'm from a countryside village. At the beginning they said, oh, like 20 years ago they said going to another country it's really good. But now they say everywhere it's super nice, buildings, everything, roads, high-speed train network, everything. They even the village people they question they may not be too good to Canada. You know, you know they say Canada. They don't look Canada. You know that place like a better than the country.
Yeah,
you know,
Chinese,
yeah. That's the thing. Especially when we go back to like visit like old friends, they have nice car. They live like a condo, super expensive, and then they go to high-end, really great restaurants, and you see, oh, they live very great life. And then, like some of them, they are the senior managers already. You know, it's you give up a lot of things for immigrants. You used to be important people in some organizations. You move like stay there for 10 years. You move in a manager position. Another 5 years, you probably be a senior manager. Somewhere you make tons of money, but then you move to another country and they start over like working in a restaurant or like going to a college and then like being a programmer. You're still a programmer, right? For them it's senior leader,
right?
So that's pressure a lot.
I see, but at the same time, right? The grass is always greener on the other side.
But for me, it's okay. I see this through a long time ago, but I can see that affected a lot of people here mentally.
Mentally, okay. Yeah. Maybe I do not understand because like I'm really
you're super young.
So
because you have nowhere to compare.
Exactly.
Yeah, because like your body's you left your body's 7 years old. You separate ways either way.
Exactly. Yeah. I wouldn't have known, but I told my mom like because of how China.
But your mom will have that your mom will probably compare when like her old colleagues or friends they were doing the big people like sitting in that office like in charge of this area. You know, if you want something done, come to me. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's the connection. You know.
Definitely. I mean, but. It depends on the people. I think I can't speak for my mom, but that's my perspective. I think that my mom she preferred like the lifestyle here because she doesn't like to do like overtime 10 hours, 15 hours, blah blah blah, right, per day. So she's like, I like the relaxed, like the slow down lifestyle because in China the lifestyle is extremely fast. Here it's slow down, you take a step and take it easy. In China is like a lot of pressure, you know, everything goes so fast. You know, business, tons of business. Obviously you're making a lot of money, but you're also working a lot. So sometimes you might not have, you know, the time.
And it all depends where you left, where you like when you were living, what position you were in.
Right.
Some positions they don't need, some they don't even need to work. They get tons of money. You know, some
maybe.
Yeah, you know, some big companies are like have stock. You know.
Right, stock.
Have stock in some big company. If you work in Alibaba, you don't need to. You know, if you are managing Alibaba, you don't work very hard. You kind of get tons of money.
I mean, I don't know. We don't know.
And then some people quit the job. They move here or start over. And you are nobody, and your English not good, French not good. You know, you cannot work like.
For me, I think it's also the opposite. Me, I because how China is doing really, really well. I asked my mom, you know, is it possible for me to go back? And from what I'm seeing is, you know, they're like in China, they're more like, you know what, we don't have that much need for people from
Haigui,
for Lucius,
Haigui.
They don't have that much need.
Returning turtle.
Yeah, I mean they have, because usually what happens is they usually take you know, students coming back to China, right, as a new skills. But today in China, you know, a lot of people with the same skill or better skill. So for you, it's not that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not that special.
You don't have the competitive edge.
You don't have a competitive edge over them, but one competitive edge that I might have is the language proficiency,
French,
right?
English.
French, English, and then Chinese. I need to practice a little bit. But
next year, I see you are learning Chinese every day.
I'm actually learning Chinese every day.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm learning using. I'm currently using pinyin, right? Because you need to get back to
it.
Yeah, but I'm learning different words because sometimes there are words I don't remember, so I have to relearn them. So I'm slowly.
But why do you want to learn them right now?
Chinese?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's because 1 or 2 years, if I can get the opportunity to go back to China and work there, I want to take that opportunity and be like, you know what, I can.
But you need to have a working visa or whatever, right?
Yeah, I need to have a working visa.
Okay.
You never know.
But but the social media, you use WeChat as well.
Yeah.
WeChat a lot, or just like.
I don't use it a lot. It's for general purposes.
Yeah. Okay. But not like a lot of your young friends. They're mainly on the Facebook thing or the Instagram thing, not on the WeChat. Your young friends.
Here or in China?
In China, for sure.
Do you use Instagram? No, in China they use WeChat. Here, a lot of them are on Instagram, Snapchat, I think.
Yeah, even the Chinese, like young people, right? Even the
here today,
the Chinese generation.
Yeah, exactly. They've been Americanized.
Yeah.
But in China, they still use WeChat and all of that. I think I prefer. I don't know. I feel like for me, I prefer more like China now.
Okay.
Than maybe Canada, so that's why I have like this desire of moving back to China and work there with a working visa. Hopefully, doing something better.
But probably if you want work there, probably reading and writing will help, right?
Yeah, writing is gonna be something interesting to learn back because.
But as long as you write on the computer, it's fine. I don't know how to write either.
Oh, okay.
Because you forget, you always type. When you type with the pinyin,
exactly. You don't.
When you write with a pen, it's very difficult.
Exactly.
Over time, you forget. I forget as well. Like a lot of times, I just feel I know how to write and then stop there.
yeah, definitely. I mean.
Okay. Oh, great. Want to finish something or?
Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm full actually. It was really good.
Okay, great. Yeah, anything you want to add that we can finish this?
Maybe I can add for like a small conclusion. I mean, for me, it was really interesting experience today. It's my first time actually doing a podcast style interview. On video being filmed. I didn't feel like I wasn't being filmed because it was naturally we were able to talk and all of that.
I hope you do not see anything. They will hold you accountable one day. Like, what did you say before in that video?
I don't remember.
Patriotic.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. Actually, I think I said something really patriotic, which means I said I really like China.
Yeah.
And I think China is better than Canada today. So, by the way, disclaimer.
A lot of opportunities at least.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities, all of that, and really interesting experience. Thank you for inviting me again. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for
really fun. The food was great as usual.
Yeah, actually, I hope like after this pandemic, I will have more time to hang out with old friends like you and your mom.
Yeah, hang out.
You have a cool mom. Yeah, I met her like 10, 11 years ago with.
My mom is pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, and a lot of, I was 40 that time, 30 something. So social, like Chinese here and socializing. Very important.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Facebook. Facebook.
There's a lot of because of COVID. I think a lot of. I mean, my mom usually she plans the events. With COVID, it's really difficult these days. But definitely, I mean, after COVID, it'll be my pleasure.
Me, you're outgoing character, not like an introvert. It's outgoing.
Me?
Yeah, and not bad. Like a lot of time, your generation, my generation, we have nothing to talk about.
Really?
It's generation gap. It's still talk. It's
fine. I mean, I'm down to earth, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe your mom.
I can relate.
Yeah, maybe your mom is talking a lot as well. So probably that's the personality, passing on.
Yeah, maybe. I'm really close with my mom, right? So definitely, I'm also her son. So
great.
Some of her personality definitely kind of rubs it off. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you think I'm down to earth, outgoing.
Yeah, outgoing. Yeah, it's great. And PM, you have to deal with a lot of people.
Exactly.
Crazy people.
Sometimes.
Not easy to work with.
It's a challenge, but I think the better you get at managing people, the better you get also at your social skills. Yeah. So that's definitely interesting as well.
Okay, great. Next time when you you have some friends a little bit older with my age, you can ask me to go as well.
All right.
All young people, not my,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Megan.
Thank you. Okay, great.